Hmm. Guys, we will go ahead. We'll go ahead and we'll see. Mhm. See, in the session yesterday that we have discussed about, yeah, I think we have, I think I've used a different document. I'm just checking with that. Yes, yes. Hmm. Just, I'm just, yeah, what happened? Hmm. Guys, yesterday we have discussed about this concept called as method overloading. Am I right? And, like we have discussed about which is proper overloading and what is not proper overloading. And we also discussed that method overloading doesn't depend on the return type. Okay, I've given multiple examples in the last class, almost the 5 examples we got in the yesterday's class. Okay, am I clear? So, uh, we can also overload parent class method in the child class. Now, these are all what I have told in the last class. Now, so today we are going to continue with what is overriding. Okay, so just 1 second, I'll start with the concept of uh, overloading as well as overriding as well. Then we'll discuss about how overloading is called a static polymorphism and how overriding is called a dynamic polymorphism. So we are actually going to look at about all these kind of things in the session for today. Okay, let's go ahead.
Sir, hello, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
Sir, yesterday in overloading,
yeah.
order of parameters, I have some doubts, sir.
Sure, sure. You can carry on. You can ask me.
I just want to know what is order of parameters.
Suppose, see, just suppose you have created a method with the first parameter integer type, second parameter is a double type. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And when you are creating another method, you added first parameter as a double type. Data type of the first parameter is double. Data type of the second parameter is int.
Okay, okay, sir.
Then order is different, na?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Guys, I will start now. One thing I want to tell you. Can we write multiple constructors in a class?
Yes, we can.
Can we write multiple constructors in a class?
Yes, we
Yes, sir.
can.
Yes, we can write, na? We can write multiple constructors in a class.
Yes.
Suppose if you define multiple constructors, then we have a name called as constructor overloading.
Yes.
So constructor overloading is also comes under a concept called as method overloading, because every constructor is a special method. Am I right?
Hmm.
A constructor is what? It is a
Special
special
method.
method. That's why constructor overloading is called as which overloading only?
Method overload.
Method overloading only. Okay, please keep this in point. Please keep this in mind. Am I clear with you?
Yes, sir.
Right. Guys, I'm just going to explain about how it is called as a static polymorphism. Okay. So first I'm creating one Java project, and I'm just giving the name as overloading program. I'm just writing overloading program. This is my something. For example, I'm just creating a method like this, overloading program. Okay. So here, I just want to create a new class I am creating, obviously. And I'm entering the package name as com.ashokit.oop, and I want to enter the class name as a main class. Class name as main class and a main method. Then we are just going to close the button, finish. So here, actually my intention is I want to tell you about what is the meaning of static polymorphism. Method overloading. Static polymorphism can be achieved using a mechanism called as method overloading. First of all, let's understand about what is the meaning of static polymorphism and what is the meaning of dynamic polymorphism. Okay. Before that, I just want to give you some of the, suppose I have something called as class A. Class A. In this class A, I just want to write a method here. What's the method I want to write is, for example, static void m1 with a parameter int x. Okay. And I also want to write another method called as void m1 with a parameter int x. With a parameter int x. If you observe this, guys, we are actually getting some kind of error here at line number 7 and line number 4. Okay. My question I would like to ask is, why are we getting error here? Because it's a static method, na? It is a static method, but this is instance method, non-static method. This is what? Static method. This is what? Non-static method. Both are not static methods. The first one is a static method, but the second one is a instance method, non-static method. Then why I am getting error? The reason, you can see M1 and M1, method name is same.
Yes. Parameters.
How many
also
parameters are there? One
One.
parameter. Here also one parameter.
Same
Okay.
parameters.
Number of parameters are same. But next we'll understand. What is the data type of the parameter here?
Integer.
Integer. Here also what is the data type of the parameter? Integer.
Integer.
So you don't have a difference in number of parameters. You don't have a difference in order of parameters or data type of the parameters. Okay. Then we call it as what method?
Overload.
We cannot call this as method overloading.
Yes.
For example, if I write int x comma int y,
Then it is method overload.
then it is method overloading. You can see that I'm not getting any error.
Yes.
The error got removed. The question is, if one method is a static method and other method is a non-static method, can we overload like this or not is the question. Can we overload like this or not means answer is what? Yes.
Yes.
If not yes, we have to get error, right?
Yes.
So it is possible. Now look at this. For the second method also, I am writing same called static void m1. Am I
Yes.
clear with you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So question is what, guys? Everybody in online, please try to give response. Okay. Please try to give response. So first method is a static method. Second method also static method. but here it has only one parameter, but here it has two parameters.
Parameters.
So this is also called as method
Method
overloading,
overloading.
which means static methods we can overload. Static methods we can overload. We can overload a static method. That's what the point I want to say. A static method also can be overloaded. Okay. A static method also can be overloaded. Okay. Next. Please understand me, everybody. There are a couple of important points. Later I will write all the points now. But first I want to give you some kind of explanation. I have a question to you. This is class B extends class A. So here I am writing static void M1 with the two parameters int x comma int y. Right. Guys, here I have a class called what? Class A. Here I have a class called what? Class B. Class B extends what?
Class A.
Class B extends class A. Class A. Am I clear? Everybody? Now, I want to create, who is the subclass here or child class here?
Class B.
Class B. CB equal to new class B. This is a way of creating object.
Yes.
Now CB dot. I'm calling M1 method. Actually, just I'm putting dot M, but you can see I can call M1 method with a single parameter called int x.
Yes.
I can also call M1 method with the two parameters.
Yes.
Which means what is the point I want to ask you is static methods can be inherited into the child class or not?
Can be inherited.
Okay, now this question is important for you. Okay, now static methods can be inherited or not? Answer is what? Yes. Yes,
Inherited.
because who is a CB? It is a child class object. It is a child class object. CB dot what I'm calling dot M. I mean, if I type M, it is showing me two options to me.
Yes, sir.
In the pop-up window, M1 and M1, two suggestions it is providing me with one parameter and with two parameters, which is nothing but what I can able to call M1 method with a single parameter, M1 method with two parameters using what? Child class object. Who is a child class here? Class B. Nothing but what I can understand. Static methods also can be inherited to the child class. If it is a private static method, then it cannot be inherited. For example, if I make it as a private method. Okay, if it is a private method. Now look at, if I write cb dot m, tell me how many suggestions it is going to show me here?
One.
One suggestion with the two parameters. Why not it is showing me another suggestion also with a single parameter?
Because it's private.
Because it's private. Okay, question comes here. Question comes, I mean, why I'm writing this and showing you is that if a method is a static method, will a static method is inherited to the child class or not? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, static method is also inherited to the child class. When a method is not inherited to its child class, when a method is not inherited to the child class, if it is a private method, that's it. Am I clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's the intention, but of course, I just want to write example first like this. I want to remove this here. I want to keep this here. Okay. Now, guys, now what I can say that a static method also we can inherit. We can add some logic here. Whatever the logic we want, we can write. And whatever the logic we want, we can write. Just I'm telling about a point here. Example 6, I'm going to give you from yesterday's continuation. Only this part I want to copy and I want to write here as example 6. Example 6 is what? Yes, static methods also we can overload. Okay. Right. Static methods can also be overloaded. That's a point I want to give. Static methods also, we can overload it. So we have M1 method with one parameter. We have M1 method with what? Two parameters. Now we can say that what? Static methods also can be, oh yes, we can overload the static methods. Am I clear with this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice, cool. Let's go ahead. Now, we want different only, na? Where? How many parameters are there here? Here, how many are there? Number of parameters are different, na? Ah, okay, cool. Now, guys, listen here. I'm just telling about. I'm telling about why it is called a static polymorphism. Now, this example is completed, so I just want to remove static, and I want to write here system.out.println inside M1 method, M1 of index of base class. Just I'm writing. Now I want to remove this static. I want to remove this complete method. Tell me how many methods I have currently in class A. Currently, how many methods I have in class A? In class A, there are how many methods, guys?
One method.
One method is there. Who is the name? What is the name of the method? M1.
M1.
Then I want to write class B extends what?
Class A.
Class A. Here I want to write M1 again with the two parameters, int x comma int y. Okay, I no need of writing class B. Even I can write the same method again in class A also. That is also called overloading only, na? Did you get my point, guys?
Yes.
Yes. I told yesterday what for you? We can overload a method either in the same class, or we can also overload that method in the child class. Tell me here, I am overloading the M1 method in the same class or in the child class? Am I overloading this method M1 in the same class, or am I overloading that method in the child class? Is a question. What is your answer for this?
Child class.
Child class. In child class, I am overloading the method. Which method?
M1.
M1. Please understand. System.out.println inside M1 of int x comma int y of derived class. Derived class nothing but child class only, na? Everybody, am I so far am I clear with you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now we are in main class. So we are going to create object in main class. Let's say, for example, I'm creating object to the child class. Child class object we will create in main. Who is a child class here? Class B.
Class B.
Class B. CB is equal to what? New? Class B.
Class
Nothing
B.
but we are creating object for what? Child class. Now what? Now what? I want to call. Okay, CB dot. If I write M1 with a single parameter, let's say 100. Then at a compile time only, I'll tell you. At the compile time only, just a minute. I'll zoom it for you. Guys, at the compile time only, I repeat, at the compile time only, there is a compiler only will provide a link. Nothing but what compiler will able to understand that what? Compiler will able to understand that I am calling M1 method with how many parameters? One parameter. Then compiler understands that what I am calling this method M1. Compiler will understand it. Okay, na?
Class B.
I am calling this method because one parameter only I am passing, na?
Yes.
Compiler will understand that. Which means what this is called calling point, right? You know the terms calling point. This is called which point? Definition point. Very good. You know, calling point and definition point. So the compiler will provide a link between the calling point and the definition point. At what time only? Compile time only. Because compiler understands that here I am calling M1 method with how much parameters? Single parameter. So it will provide a link between this calling point to definition point at the compile time itself. That's why it is called compile time polymorphism. Okay. Compiler knows which method I am calling. With one parameter I am calling or with two parameters I am calling. Okay. For example, if I write cb dot m1, okay, with 100 comma 200. Okay, 100 comma 200. Do you know what happens in this case now? Compiler, in this case, what happens? Compiler knows that here we are calling M1 method with one parameter, and here we are calling M1 method with two parameters. Who will come to know about this? Compiler. Compiler. This is called what polymorphism? Compiler static polymorphism or compile time polymorphism. Okay, right? So what is happening in compile time polymorphism? The compiler will provide the links between method calling point and method definition point. Okay, because compiler knows which method we are calling based on the parameters. Based on the parameters. This is called compile time polymorphism. That's why it is called compile time polymorphism. That's what I want to explain in this example. Am I clear with you? Okay.
Yes,
Folks in
sir.
online. Online guys, am I clear with you guys? Other folks. I mean, I'm
Yes.
asking like Lakshmi, Sandhya, other people are there, na Shatak.
Yes,
Am I
sir.
clear with you, Bhagyesh,
Yeah.
everyone? Yeah. Am I clear with you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Cool. So this is called compile time polymorphism. Okay? Right. Of course, if I run the program, I will get the output. What the output I'm going to get is simple, saying that M1 of 100 means inside M1 of index of base class. If I write M1 of 100 comma 200 means inside M1 of index comma int y of derived class. So you are getting the output like this, na? Inside M1 of base class, inside M1 of derived class. Okay, na? Right. But who knows about which method we are calling? Compiler. So compiler will make a binding internally between that method calling point and method definition point. That's why it is called compile time polymorphism. It's called compile time polymorphism. Okay. Of course, I can create two classes like this. Otherwise, I can add single class also. Why not? For example, I have removed class B. Guys, I have removed class B. No problem. Now I don't have any class B, na? What is the only one class I have with me? Class A. CA is equal to new class A. CA dot M1. CA dot M2. M1, sorry. M1, M1. Am I getting an error? No, no. Now tell me what the first method called based on the parameters. The compiler will make internally binding between what and what? The method calling point and the method definition point. This method calling point and this method definition point. Based on
Definition
what?
point.
Based on what? Based on what? Number of parameters. Here, how many parameters are there? Single
One
parameter. Here, how many parameters are there? Two parameters are there. Okay, this is called what polymorphism? Compile time polymorphism. Otherwise, static polymorphism. Okay, cool, cool. Sorry, parameters are. Then we cannot overload the method, na? If you want to overload a method, there must be difference in what? Number of parameters, or data type of the parameters, or sequence of the parameters. Order, otherwise sequence, any word, right? If you write exactly one parameter only, it is not called overloading. It is going to give you a compile time error, right? Okay. So we cannot do that. Am I clear with this now, guys? So I want to add this point for your reference purpose. Okay. Another example. This is let me say example 8. I think example 7. Let me say it's example 7. Let me type the program code. After typing the program code, here I want to say now why it is called static polymorphism. Okay. Tell me here, when M1 method is called with a single parameter, compiler will bind this method call calling point with the definition point. Okay. Right. So I'm writing here, the compiler binds the method calling point. Okay, method calling points with the method definition points. With the method definition points at a compile time only. At a compile time only, based on parameters. Correct? If one parameter binding with the first method definition point. If two parameters, then it is binding with the two parameters. Okay. So at a compile time only based on parameters. That's why it is called static polymorphism. That's what is called static polymorphism. So far, am I good with this? Okay. So guys, we have discussed so far about a concept called as method. We have discussed about a point called as method overloading. Okay. Now, example by example, just we discuss about what is a proper overloading, what is not overloading. Can we overload a static method or not? Okay. Constructors we can overload or not. You know, all these things. And where should be the difference in overloading? These are all the examples, multiple examples I have given so that you will read those examples at least to get the knowledge. Okay. Now, we'll discuss about overloading example, overriding example, two examples separately for programs to practice. These are example by example just to know which is overloading, which is not overloading. Now, the next point is what method overriding. Okay, right. The thing to understand here, if at all you want to, when should I override a method is a question. There is a difference in overloading and overriding. We'll discuss about differences between overloading and overriding next. But as of now, guys, as of now, we have to know about when to go for overriding. Actually, overriding meaning redefining the existing method. That's what the meaning of overriding. What is the meaning of overriding? Already one method is defined. Again, you want to define the same method. That's called what? Method overriding. What is method overriding? Redefining a method of the base class. Redefining a method of the base class in the child class. In the parent class, already one method is there. It is already defined. In the child class, I want to define again the same method with different logic. If you define again, it is called redefining now. Are you getting my point, guys? That's called method overriding. So I want to talk about method overriding now. I would like to explain about method overriding. In online, guys, did you understood about what I'm trying to explain about what method overriding is all about? Okay, na? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. See, please understand me now. For method overriding, inheritance is compulsory. Without inheritance, we cannot override the methods. Because where can I override a method?
In child class.
Child class, I can override a method of the parent. Okay, na? So, yeah, if I want to override the method, I need child class. If I want to create a child class, I must use inheritance with extends keyword. Obviously, what guys? For method overriding, to override a method, what is required?
Inheritance.
Inheritance is
Inheritance.
required. What about method overloading?
Not required.
It's not required. Even in the same class also, we can define the same method with the parameters difference. It is called overloading. Means for overloading, method overloading, what is not required? Inheritance is not required. But for method overriding, inheritance is compulsory. Inheritance is compulsory. Okay, na? Because we can override a method in child class, but we cannot override a method in same class. Suppose I have one class. In the same class, I cannot override the method. I cannot redefine the method again. But where I can redefine that method? In child class. So guys, first I want to start writing the points. Of course, I will give you examples to know, properly which is overriding and which is not overriding. Okay, please try to get concept here, guys. Everybody, what is the point I'm talking about? Method overriding. Okay, na? What's the method overriding? Tell me, for method overriding, what is compulsory? Inheritance is mandatory. Okay, inheritance is required. For method overriding, inheritance is mandatory. Inheritance is mandatory. Okay. Second point. Okay. If we have a method in a base class or parent class, if you have a method in parent class, that method we can, what we can do? That method we can override or redefine. Another name of overriding is called redefining. That method we can override or redefine in the child class. Am I clear with you guys? If you have a method in a parent class, that method we can override or we can redefine it in the child class. Okay? Good. I will give examples. Please understand me. Next point I want to explain. Guys, let me just create overriding program. One project I am creating. Overriding program. Now you can see, guys, we have overriding program here. We have something like this. Am I clear with you? I want to start writing the new, and I want to write something called as class. And I want to write my class name as test class. Could be any name. Package name is com.ashokit.oop. And main method is also required. My class name is test class. But above the test class, I want to create two classes. Okay. What are the two classes? Class A, which is a parent class. And here I have a method called void m1 with a parameter int x. And I'm writing system.out.println inside m1 of int x of parent class, base class or parent class. Now guys, there is a method called m1 method. Guys, m1 method is there. There is a method m1 in class A. Now I am writing what? Class B
Extends
class A. There is a method called m1 of int x again. System.out.println inside m1 of int x of child class. If you look at this, guys, in method overriding, remember, it is mandatory to check everything. Method name must be same. Number of parameters must be same. data type of the parameters must be same. And if there are multiple parameters, order of the parameters also, sequence of the parameters also must be same. Sequence of the parameters also must be same. Am I clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. If you look at this, if I, for example, if I make it as double x, then tell me it is called as method overriding or method overloading?
Overloading.
Overloading.
Overriding.
No, this is called method overloading.
Overloading.
Why?
Type in parameter is different.
Type of the parameters
Here
is
the
different.
parameter type is int, but in the child class the parameter type is what?
Double.
Double.
Both are same or not same?
Not
Same.
not same.
Not same. This is called what method?
Overloading.
Loading, not overriding. Not overriding. Everybody, am I clear with you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. If you want to, for example, tell the compiler, if I do any mistake and when I'm overriding, show me an error. I want to tell the compiler like that. Okay, na? Suppose if I actually my intention is I want to override the method, but I did some mistake, na? Is compiler showing me any error?
No.
No. What compiler is feeling?
It's correct.
Compiler is feeling that I am overloading the method. But
Yes.
actually my intention is what?
Overriding.
I am overriding the method, but I am doing it wrong. Then I am telling the compiler what I am overriding the method. If any mistake I do, show me the error. For that in Java, one annotation is given. @ override. First letter O capital. @ indicates it is a annotation. It is
Okay.
a annotation. Now tell me, if I write @ override, now it is showing me error at line number 10.
Yes.
Yes. Why? Compiler is what I am telling the compiler.
Override.
I am overriding the method M1. I am overriding the method M1. Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
But what is the parameter type here?
Int.
Is the parameter
Different.
type is what? Double.
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 Both are not equal. Both are not same. That's why I am getting what error at line number 10. 10. Did you get this example first?
Yes.
Many
Yes.
things are there. I will start one by one. Okay. Tell me. Guys, if we have a method in a parent class, that method we can override or redefine again it in the child class.
Alpha.
Child class. Okay. Again, I want to tell you. Right. In method overriding, okay, the method name must be same. Method name must be same. And also, okay, the parameter types, the parameter types or parameters types. Okay, parameters sequence means order. And number of parameters must be same. Everything must be same. Remember this one thing. Even yesterday also I told this point. Don't consider the parameter name. See, here it is x. Suppose I am writing here int x. Tell me what is the name of the parameter? X. Here also x. In place of x, if I use a, am I getting any error?
No.
No, because don't consider parameter name. Parameter name is not important. What is important? Parameter data type important. What is the data type? Int. Here what's the data type of the parameter? Int. Both are same or not? Yes.
Same.
Yes. So what is the name of the parameter? X. What's the name of the parameter? A. So parameter name can be X, A or A, B or X, Y. It doesn't matter. Parameter name is not important. Type is important. Data type is important. Am I good with you? Folks in online,
Yeah.
am I good with you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So please go ahead and try to understand the concept here. Okay, na? Okay, I will write, of course. Of course. Next. See here. Okay, see here. Generally, which annotation we will write when you are overriding the method in child class? At the
Override.
rate,
Override.
without this also, we can work with the program. But if I do any mistake, compiler
It
doesn't
won't
show
let
me
us.
error.
Yes.
But I want to tell the compiler, okay, what I want to tell the compiler, if I am doing any mistake at the time of overriding, show me that error. Then I will come to know my mistake early, na?
Yes.
Otherwise, what? It feels that I'm overloading the method. But actually, I am
Overriding.
overriding. My intention is I want to override that method. I want to redefine the method. That's why. That's why we are writing which annotation? The annotation name is at the rate override. At the rate is a symbol that it is annotation. And annotation name always starts with the uppercase letter. So O is uppercase. O is uppercase. Okay. I will explain. I will explain. Okay. Please understand me, guys. Please understand. Yes. So I will write one by one points, guys. Okay. First, I want to tell. Okay, I want. Suppose if we do any change in the parameters, if you do any change in the parameters, while overriding the method, if I do any change in the parameters, then compiler considers it as a
Overloading method.
overloading. For example, I will copy. I'm trying to give you a good note so that you people could. Of course, I'll make some change, but I want to copy. I want to write here. I want to copy this. This much big size is not required. I'll reduce the size to 13 or 14. Okay, guys. Tell me, we have class called class A. We have M1 method. I want to remove this override. I want to write here double A or double X. Okay, guys, tell me here. Is it considered as overloading or overriding?
Overloading.
Overloading. Actually, what I want to do here? Overriding. Actually, I want to do overriding, but I changed the parameter type to double. That's why it is going to become overloading. Will compiler give me any error?
No.
No. See here, actually, I want to override. Actually, I want to override the method, but because of I have changed the data type of the parameter. I've changed the data of the parameter in child class to double. Am I right or not? I've changed the data type of the parameter to what? Double. So the compiler understands it as overloading. Are you getting my point? Next point. What I want to tell the compiler? Yeah. If you want to, tell the compiler that, what do you want to tell? If you want to tell the compiler that while overriding a method, if I do any mistake, then show me an error. If you want to tell the compiler that while overriding a method, if I do any mistake, then show me an error. Then Tell me what to do then. Yes, then we have to add which annotation? At the rate override annotation before the method. Before the method means above the method or side of the method, anywhere but before the method. Okay, na? Again, I will copy the same. For example, this is the method. Am I clear with you guys? Then tell me here, what compiler will give me? Here compiler definitely will give me error. Why? Because if I use double, it's going to give me error. Am I clear with you?
Yeah.
Okay, if I use int x, it won't give me any error. But if I, okay, no. If I change the data type, okay, if I change the data type or if I change the sequence, if I change the number of parameters, then immediately it's going to show me what? Error. Which annotation I'm using?
Compilation error.
Override.
Override.
Yeah, that's the importance. But remember, is it compulsory that you must write at the rate override means? Answer is no, but it is our convenience because to know our mistake early. To know our mistake early. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see. Please understand here. Suppose I'm writing int x comma int y. Int x comma int y. Am I clear with you guys? Int x comma int y. Tell me here, how many parameters are there? 2. But actually in the base class, the method has how many parameters only? Single parameter. Single parameter. Which annotation I'm writing? Override. What compiler knows? No, you are not doing the overriding correctly. That's why it is giving me error. Error. Next point. Listen. If you look at what's the return type here? Void. For example, if I use return type as here int, and I will return 1. Just for example, I am writing return 1 because int na. So what is the return type of the method? Int. So what it should return? Integer value 1, 2, 3, any number 0, -1, anything. But why I am getting error again at line number 10?
Override.
What is the
return type
return type?
difference.
Very good. What is the return
Return
type here? Void. What is the return type
Void.
here?
Int.
So both are matching or not matching? Not matching. That's why. That's why what we are getting error. Means what you understood? Means what you have understood? At the type of overriding, return types also must be same. Return types of the methods must be same. In overloading, any?
No, not required.
Boolean also, no problem. Boolean. True, na? Return type, if I change to int means it could be float, double, boolean, no need to ask again, right? Guys, tell me. Okay, tell me what must be same? Return type of the methods also must be same. Must be same. Otherwise, it's going to give error. Am I clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Please understand me now. What about method overloading yesterday?
Will not consider.
Not required.
Return types are not considered. Return type can be same
Or different.
or different also.
Different also.
But method name must be same and the parameters must have difference. That is overloading. But in overriding,
Everything
not
should
like
be
that.
same.
It's not like that. Return type must be same.
Parameters must be same.
Method name must be same. Return type must be same. Order of parameters, that's called sequence of parameters, data type of the parameters, number of parameters, everything must be same. But what could be different is the logic. Inside the method, what you can write here? Logic, na? Here also, what you can write? Logic. The logic in the base class and logic in the child class, or logic in the parent class and logic in the child class can be
different.
Logic, you can write different logic. That's what the meaning of redefining. When we will redefine the method, suppose if existing method is not suitable to my class, then what can I do? Existing method is there, but that functionality is not enough. It is not enough for me. Then what can I do? I
Override.
will redefine. I will override that method. I will write my own logic. Am I clear with that point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Good. I will start one by one.
Will you able to give a couple of examples at what scenarios are we going to use override?
That examples will get next. First, let me start with M1, so that first you will get the concept. Okay. Sure. Guys, next one is, for example, one more example. But of course, I will reduce the font size. Okay, right? Now, yeah, I'll give you. Here, guys, this is going to give error. So why there is an error in this example?
Return type is
Data
different.
type needs to be the same.
Return type. Yes, return type.
Return type.
Yeah, I'll give you return type. So what I'm trying to say here, I will say, understand, I will say, okay, please understand. I'll say, saying that what? Here, okay, here, in child class, the return type of the method, return type of the M1 method, better. Return type of the M1 method is changed to Boolean. Boolean. That's why it is an error. Next point. In method overriding, the method, we can call it as a header or signature. The first line of the method is called method header. First line, I mean the complete return type, public, return type, method name. You are writing now parameters. That is called header. And starting from curly brace, that is called body. So every method contains what?
Header.
Method header or signature and the method body.
Body.
A method has what and what? Method has what and what, guys? Method has a header
and body.
Header and body.
Body and signature.
Okay. No, header and body. Otherwise, signature and body. Any word is correct. Okay. So, in method overriding, the method header or signature, any word we can use. The method header or signature must be same. Okay. Could you tell me what this header or signature contains? The method header or signature must be same. You can
method name.
Yeah. You can redefine or you can change whatever may be. You can modify the body or you can redefine the body. You can modify or update anything. You can modify the body of the method. Guys, am I clear with this point?
Yes.
Am I clear with this point, right? So tell me,
Yes.
what is header and what is body? Method
Header
has header
contains,
and body. What is header and what is body?
Header contains
Header
return type,
contains
method name,
return type, public or private
data.
access modifier. This is called method header. And starting from curly brace, it is called method body.
Body.
That's called method header and method body. So
Method contains the data type also, right?
Method does not contain data type, na? Method does not contain data type. Method contains return type.
Return type and method name.
Yeah, I'll tell
And
you.
access modifiers.
So I will just give, for example, suppose I'm writing public void m1 of int x. Okay, curly brace start, some logic here, close. Now tell me, this first line is called what?
Method
This
header.
first line is called method header or signature.
Yes.
Method header, otherwise we can call signature, method signature. What the method signature contains? Access modifier, public or private or static something. Return type, method name,
Method
and
parameter.
parameters. This is called method header or
Headers.
signature. And what about from curly brace to curly brace?
Logic.
This logic,
Body.
whatever is there now, this is called method body.
Body.
Starting from this curly brace up to this curly brace. Okay. Now tell me, this part is called as what? Method body. This part is called what? Method body. Better I will copy this diagram for you. Okay, learn, no problems. Okay, but please try to learn. Am I clear with you guys, this one?
Yeah.
Now you can understand that who is method header and who is method body.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So the first line before curly brace, whatever is there, first line, this is called method header or method signature. Starting from curly brace until the curly brace is closed, this is called method body. Yes. Yes. I will continue further. I'll explain. Okay. Yes. Let's go ahead, because we'll discuss multiple things. So we are getting some kind of
Compilation
error here because of return type is different.
Yes.
So what can I write here? Void.
Void.
Now I don't have an error. Huh?
Yes.
Now I have no error.
Correct.
Next.
Yeah.
Again, listen. There are, see, can we override a method within the same class?
No.
No. No. Very good. Now tell me, in class A, I have M1. M1 is a static method or non-static method?
Non-static.
Non-static method.
Non-static method.
Non-static method. Please understand me. I am writing now private void M2. No parameters. System.out.println inside M2 of parent class. No parameters are there.
Yes.
Next, I'm writing static void M3. Okay. First, why I'm using M1, M2, M3 is to just get the knowledge first, basic knowledge. Layman terms we are using now. System.out.println inside M3 of parent class. Tell me, how many methods are there in my parent class?
3.
3. 3. Yeah. Tell me, already M1 method I have overridden M1 method already in this class B. Next, I want to override M2. Which annotation I have to use?
Override.
Override. Okay. Void M2.
M2.
M2. Okay, I'm not writing logic, I'll tell you. Tell me, when I'm overriding M2, some logic I want write later, leave it. Tell me, I'm getting error at line number 22.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Do you know why?
It is a private type.
Because it's a private method. Very good. So what's the answer now? Private methods we cannot
override.
We can't override. Very good. Private methods we cannot override. Okay, I have a question. Can we overload the private method?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Because you can overload a method in the same class also.
Yeah. Correct.
Please think on this. Statements or multiple statements are there here, so don't get confused. Try to basically understand the clarity.
It is a private method.
If it is a private method, can we overload the method or not? Is a question.
In another class, we can't.
In the same class,
Yes, we
We
can.
can.
we
Yes.
can.
We can.
Because private methods are visible
Within the class.
Within the
within the
class.
class also, na?
Yes.
So private methods we can overload within the same class.
Yes.
But what about overriding?
Overriding, we can't
We can't.
override.
We can't override because private method is not visible. Not visible at outside the class.
Yes.
Obviously. So we can't override. Am I clear? Am I clear with this, guys? Next. Again, next I'm writing. One more method is there, M3 at the rate override. Static void M3. Again, what I'm getting? Error at line number
Error.
27. But do you know what is the access modifier of M3 method here at line 11 of the base class?
Public.
Where is public?
Default. Yeah. Default.
Default is correct answer.
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
don't write any
Default.
access modifier, it is called default, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Default is visible within the same package.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. If you are confusing, I'll write public also. Why not? Public means no doubt, na? Public is global visibility.
Yes, sir.
Here also I'll write public. Then we don't have any doubt. But still I'm getting error at line number 27. Why?
Can you go up a little bit to check the M3 method?
Sure.
Static.
Is it because of static?
Now, did you understand the point? Now, what is
Static
the
method
answer to
also
say?
we cannot override, right?
Yes.
We-
Static methods, we cannot override. What about overloading?
We can.
We can.
We can.
We can overload
Yeah.
static method. That's why today, first example, we discuss about static method only. Okay. We can overload static method. What about overriding?
We cannot.
We can't. Nothing
We
but what's the
can't.
answer to say?
Or so you can't override
Private methods?
static?
Static methods we can't override.
Yes.
Even default also we cannot do override, right?
No. Default methods we can override. Within the same package only, you have your class A, class B. These are all in one package only, na? com.ashoka.it.oop.
But before we write public, it is by default it is default, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
then also we got it shows error, right?
That's no. It is not because of public or default. It is because of static.
Okay.
Because of static.
I got
Static method we cannot override. That's what the point I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Makes sense.
Okay, good. Guys, tell me what methods and what methods we can't override. Tell me. Private method we cannot
static.
override.
Can't override.
Yes.
Private methods we cannot override. And static methods also we cannot override. Can we overload the private method means answer? Yes.
Yes.
Can we
Class-
overload the static method means answer? Yes.
Yes.
Am I clear with you? Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Point is correct. 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 I'll write like a question. That's better. Okay. What's the question? Can we override a private method? What's the answer?
No, we cannot
Can we
override.
override a private method? What's the answer? No. No. I'm writing point also. Because private methods are not visible.
Outside of the class.
Yes. Because private methods are not visible at outside the class. Outside of that class. Not visible at outside of that class. Am I clear with you? So private methods we cannot override. Next question. Can we overload a private method?
Yes, but within a
Yes.
class only, right?
Yes, but there is a condition. Yes, but
Within the class only we
Within-
can.
within that same class only. Within that same class only. Are you okay? Are you getting this point? Within that same class only.
Yes, sir.
Question. Can we override a static method?
No.
No.
Answer is no.
No.
Okay. A question comes here. Why? Private means we know it is not visible at outside the class. That's good. Cool. We know the reason. But for static method, what is the reason? Why it is not allowing me to override? Any guess from it? I think, did you get my question first of all? Folks, did you get my question? Am I clear with my question first of all? Private methods is not private methods are not overridden because private is visible within the class only. It is not visible at outside. Reason is there. What about static reason? What is the reason for static? Any guess? Overriding is? Okay, that's what the meaning of overriding means. You are redefining the existing method.
I'm just thinking it's all because of a static. We are overriding in inheritances, right? Inheritance.
Hmm.
So that could be the reason we cannot override static methods. Yeah, that is what I'm just guessing it.
Okay. Yeah. Any other one? Can you guess some answer for this reason? Is there any reason like why static methods we cannot override? Why can't we override a static method?
We can't change them.
Sorry. The reason is, yeah, okay, cool, good. The actually why we can't override static method is actually static means belongs to the class. You know, we discussed, right? Suppose if you make any variable as a static variable, then tell me static variable belongs to a specific object or it is a shareable resource for all objects of the class. If you create a static variable, it is shareable to all objects. All objects of the class will share the same variable called static variable. One time only the memory is allocated. Okay, that
Yes.
memory also allocated outside the object in the heap memory. We discuss about diagram and all these kind of things.
Yeah.
Am I good with this, right? Similarly, when you talk about a static method, static methods belongs to a specific object of a class, or static methods are what we can say class level methods. Class level methods, I mean, what we can say, the static
Belongs
methods
to
are
the class
common for
only.
all objects. What is the
Static
correct
method
answer out
is
of the
common.
static method is?
Static common for all
So static methods are
objects.
belongs to class, not
Yes,
belongs to specific object,
correct.
right? Not belongs to specific object. Static methods are common to all the objects. Nothing but it belongs to class. They are called class level methods. They are not called object level methods. Non-static methods are object level methods. Static methods are class level methods. So why static methods we cannot override means what is your answer?
Class level methods.
Because static methods are class level methods. So basically the point is what? Static means it belongs to the class, not belongs to the particular object. Belongs to the class. For that class, there can be 1 object or 10 objects or 100 objects. But that method belongs to the class, not particularly belongs to or tied with a particular object. That's why if I make the method as static here, tell me the static means it belongs to which class? Class A. Class A. So I cannot override it in child class to make it as it belongs to class B.
But we are extending a class A.
Okay.
It's supposed to be get all the functionality to class B, right?
No. What I'm trying to say is now, that's also a good question, but I want to tell you, you can utilize this functionality in class B.
Yeah.
But you cannot redefine
Override.
again. You
Okay.
can't, you cannot override, you cannot redefine the static method functionality.
Okay,
Why?
makes sense. But
Why? Because, yeah, that's what the point. Nice catch. But the point is, what I'm saying is, if we have a static method in base class, the static method functionality of the base class, we can also use in derived class, but we cannot change it. We can't modify it. We cannot redefine it. Since static represents what? Static keyword represents what? Or static method represents what? This
belongs
method,
to specific.
yeah, this method belongs to class, not tied with a specific object, or not belongs to particular object. It is a functionality which is common for all objects. It is a functionality common for all objects. All objects of which class? Parent class. Who is a parent class here? Class A. Class A. I think catching this point is little bit tough, but still it is important for us to know why we can't override a static method. Okay, what is the simple reason to say, suppose if any question comes for you like, why can't we override a static method? Then what is your answer?
Static belongs to the specific class.
Static means, a static method means it belongs to the class, not belongs to the object. Okay, so we cannot override the static method. If you override the static method in class B, for example, if it is allowed, it is overriding, then you tell me now the functionality, otherwise we can say the logic of the static method, whatever we have, belongs to that class, belongs to class A, for example, is gone.
Yeah.
Is gone means we are overriding.
Yes.
Yes. So that's why Java compiler doesn't allow to override static method, because static is a specific or a special method which is saying that this method is a utility method of class A. Utility method means, again, it's a different word and you might get confused. But okay, I'll give you, if any other term, if I get, I'll give a good reason for this again. But as of now, just feel that, I'll tell you good reasons next. But as of now, feel that what and what methods we can't override. Private
We
methods we
cannot
cannot override,
override.
as well as
Static method.
static methods also we cannot override. Static methods we can overload, but we cannot override. We cannot override. Private methods also we can overload, but we cannot
Override.
override. Okay. So I'll give you a good reason like why in a separate way. So can we override a static method?
No.
No. Answer is no. Can we overload a static method?
Yes.
Yes. I'll give you because and reason, those things in the next, by giving a good example. Okay. Can we overload a static method? Or the answer? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Answer is yes. We can. Yes, we can. We can overload a static method, but we cannot override the static method. Okay.
But I mean, like override question. So simply not saying no. So can we use that?
I'll give you.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm thinking that which is a better statement that can reach you. That's why I'm not writing. Next session, I will write some better statement here.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay. That's
And
why
I
I'm
have
just
another
keeping it.
question.
Yeah, sure.
Once we override that functionality, so it means the existing functionality won't work. I mean, like the old functionality won't work, or it will work, but with the enhancements of override.
No, it is not like that. What happens is, if you are calling the method with the child class object, overridden functionality will execute.
Okay, so whatever we
Depends
return,
on the type of the object.
okay.
If the object type is child class, overridden functionality will execute. If
Okay.
the object type is parent class, base functionality will
Mm.
execute.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah. Okay, next. Look at this, guys. Okay, I will remove this private and static. I just said only answer as no, but definitely I'll give you a good point there so that you won't get any confusion. Because if I write my statement, what currently I have in my mind, it may lead to another confusion. That's why I'm not writing. Just simply written no, but I will give you the good reason for that. Yeah. Now we have class
Sure.
A and class B. Okay, both are M1, M1 only, na? Tell me in the child class, mostly we create object for in main class, mostly for which class we create object? Child class object will create.
Early class.
Okay, good. I mean, it means can't we create object for parent class?
Can we
No, I mean,
offset?
if I create an object to the parent class, will I get any error? No.
No, we won't get.
I can create parent class object also, but why we prefer for child class object is child class contains parent
Parent.
class functionality and also child
Child
class
class.
own functionality also is there. That's why
We can
When
create
we
create
are
object for
preferring
child.
to create the child class object.
Child.
But I will not get any error if I create the parent class object. Will you
And
get?
another point is here, if
Yeah.
we want to execute only parent class functionality, then we can call by parent.
Parent class object. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to create a parent class object and use parent class reference variable. Okay. So, nice. See here, guys, a very simple point I'm writing. My intention is why it is called dynamic polymorphism. Okay. Look at this. Please understand. Class B, CB equal to new what? Class B. I would like to explain this point before I wind up the session for today. Okay. CB dot M1 of 100. Some number. Okay, look at this, guys. There in class A, there is a method called M1 with how many parameters? Single parameter. In class B also there is M1 with a single parameter, that is also integer only. When I write M1 of 100, then compiler don't know who is the definition point. Who is the definition point? Compiler cannot identify who is the definition point. Because in class A there is M1. In class B also there is M1. With the same parameter, integer.
Yes.
Okay, means at what time the bindings are not possible between this calling point and the definition point?
Compilation.
At what time it is not possible to identify the bindings between the calling point and the definition point?
When we compile.
At the compile time, compiler is confused. I mean, it's not giving error, but I mean in our terms. Because M1 is there. Parent class has M1, child class has M1 with the same integer parameter.
But the object is a class.
Yes.
Type class.
So that's why compiler is unable to provide bindings between calling point and the definition point, because there are two definition points matching with this calling point. At what time this is resolved, whether to call base class method or child class method, is runtime. Because when the object is created, Object is not created compile time. Objects are only created
Runtime.
runtime. Tell me, what is a runtime object in CB?
Yeah.
In CB, who is a runtime object? Class
Class
B
B.
object.
Class B.
At runtime, whose object in CB? Class B
Class
object. Now tell me, at the runtime, there will be a bindings created between this calling point and this definition point.
Definition points.
At what time?
Runtime.
At runtime, not at the compile time. Because at compile time, compiler is getting confused. Why compiler is confused here? Why compiler is confused here?
Because
Because of the same
Because there are two definition
method.
points, M1, M1 is there with the same parameter, integer. One parameter I am passing called 100, one parameter. There is M1 with one parameter, M1 with one parameter. There are two times M1, M1 is there. It is confused. Okay.
While compilation time, so
Yeah.
it has like two M1 methods, right? Each
Yes.
class A and class B.
Ah.
So it will compile both methods, or like it will go to
compile,
class
see,
B and compile.
No. Compilation will be done for at compile time, every class is compiled.
Okay.
If there are three classes in this code, class A, class B, test class.
Hmm.
All the classes are compiled at compile time. At compile time, all the classes are compiled. If you have any error in any line of code, then it will show that error also to you. Okay. At compile time, all the classes are compiled. But the thing is, why compiler is getting confused? Because compiler don't know what is there in CB. Compiler don't know what is there in CB. Because what CB stores? What CB stores?
Class B object.
Object. But when object is created, when object
Runtime.
comes to reality, means when
At
object
runtime.
is created at the runtime.
Runtime.
At the time of writing the program, we are writing new class B. But when this instruction get executed?
Runtime.
At runtime.
At
When
runtime.
object is created at runtime, means based on the runtime object, then the bindings are created between this calling point and this definition point. But at the compile time, compiler cannot create any bindings. When compiler can create bindings if there is a difference in parameters. But here parameters are same, na? That's why it cannot create the bindings. At what time the bindings are allocated? Or at what time the link is created between them? At the runtime. That's why it is called dynamic polymorphism or runtime polymorphism. Did you get the concept now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Guys, anyhow, I have explained, but in the next session, I'll give you the notes for this. But please try to understand what we discussed. This is all what we discussed today about method overriding and why it is called static polymorphism. Example 7. From example 6 onwards, we started our discussion today. Okay, I'm giving more priority for giving some good explanation on these topics, because if you know very well, then you will not get confused. So from here, actually, we started. I will just upload it now, and you people can able to download and go through this code. Okay, na? Right. I'll give you this example. And also, I just written answer as no, but I haven't given any reason for that. Definitely, I'll give a good reason also for that, which is understandable for you